What is your why? What is it that makes you get up every morning, go to work, or work on the hobby that you're working on, or work on that project, or even if you're owning a business, what is it that pushes you and drives you to do what you do every day? What is your why? This has been a theme at the moment for the past few months, probably about 6 months now, since I read Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why. And I've been trying to flesh out for myself and obviously for the Xander King brand, what our why is. What is my why? And I started Xander King because I was tired of... I used to work in a retail clothing store, and just looking through the designs, because they made us wear the shirts that were obviously for sale, so that we could then sell the shirts, if that makes sense, or sell the garments. But a lot of the times I would go flick through the designs and go, these are not, I want to say bad, but that's obviously a subjective thing. Everyone's going to have their own perception and their own idea of what's good and bad. But I was looking at it going, I'm not really drawn to these shirts. They don't really, in a sense, scream or tell my values, my morals, my beliefs. They don't really scream me, if that makes sense. So that's when I decided to, you know what, I'm going to start my own brand and start designing my own clothes. And I did actually start with a brand called Julian Spencer, because I liked the J and the S together working so well from a design perspective. And I did do some photography. I was going to mix my photography with that whole brand. And I did print off a couple of shirts, but it didn't really have, in a sense, a why factor. It was just because I was designing it and it looked good. And I loved the name Julian Spencer. And again, it didn't really want me to I didn't really feel like to wear the shirts. Like, it just wasn't drawing to me. Anyway, a few years later, I then started with Xander King. King obviously comes from the concept of my Christianity background, how Jesus is the King of Kings. He's the Lion of Tribe of Judah. He is the ultimate king that serves the people, rather than this stigmatized, stereotypical, tyrannical version of king that we have today, where people serve the king. And in a way, yes, we do serve the king, but a true king, in a sense, serves their people. So being tired of not liking most of the designs in this clothing store that I was in, and even when I walked into Culture Kings, I was so disappointed in the amount of designs that were just not that great. They were not that great at all. There's a few more words I could say that I could express it, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. And I really wanted to wear something that I stood for, or something that had meaning behind it, and that's when I started designing Xander King. And now fleshing out the why and reading Start With Why. I've listened to it once and I've read it physically once. And as he always uses the example of Apple, and Apple's why is challenge the status quo. And I realized that's similar to what my brand's why is, and how it sort of came about. I created Xander King with the king concept of a true king, a humble king, because I wanted to challenge the current stereotypical version of king. I want to challenge those people that, you know, go around acting like they're the boss, or they're top notch with, you know, flashy cars or flashy, you know, clothes, acting as if they're like they should be served. People should be bending down and kissing their feet, in a sense. And it's like, actually, no. If you're a king, you should be getting down, washing the feet of your friends and family, of those that are struggling, helping the poor, being there for, you know, people to express themselves, that they're hurt or they're frustrated or that they're angry in a sense, and being patient with them, having some compassion towards people when they mess up. And that's what Xander King is mostly and really all about. And it's a brand that consistently, because I'm wearing it all the time, and puts it in the back of my brain going, am I being a king right now? Am I being compassionate? Am I being patient? Am I choosing not to interact and participate in gossiping? Am I choosing to build people up with my speech and with my words rather than tearing them down? Is my behavior reflecting the brand? Because if it's not, then I shouldn't be wearing the brand. So it's as if the brand brings out the best version of me because I'm, in a sense, always wearing it and I am the face of it. So, and that's the current things that I'm working on towards with the why and really fleshing out the why. I want the why and people to, purchase the brand or be affiliated with the brand or interact with the brand, knowing that it's challenging them to be a better version of themselves. I want my products and the services that I offer to really challenge people and go, are you being the best version of yourself? Are you being the most compassionate and kind version of yourself towards people? Because again, this concept of being independent, it's I don't really care about other people. It's, what I like, what I do with my life, what people do with their lives, that's their issue and not mine. I don't have to help them if I don't want to. I don't want people telling me what to do with my life, in a sense. That whole independence kind of concept is very toxic and very poisonous, especially when you need to rely on people when you're struggling. When you're in a hospital bed, you need people to help you, bring clothes, bring food, tell your work that you're not going to be in for a while, etc., etc. Like, you need people. It's even with the job concept. Like, if you have a business or a job and you're giving services to people, there's an interdependence relationship there between the both of you, both the customer and the owner of the shop. You want to be able to provide a service for the customer that they need, and they obviously are relying on you to have that service so that it can better their lives. And you rely on them because you need their financial support to keep your business running. So there's an interdependence relationship there. You're relying on each other. But it's not so much a codependent relationship. You don't have to rely completely on one sole customer or one sole person to help run your business. It's an interdependent thing where you're bouncing off a team of people or a community of people that have different skills and different values, interacting back and forth in a sense. So removing that independent mindset or even that codependent mindset and becoming, in a sense, whole within yourself, realizing that you're not here to be served. You're not here to not serve at all, in a sense, or you don't have to serve. Like, it's a balance. We need to serve and be served. We need to help and be helped when we need it. It's a constant, in a sense, humbling situation or mindset of, I'm not perfect, I'm not completely strong all the time. Today I might be strong, but tomorrow I might be sick and I might have to rely on someone to help me get through the day. And helping each other, bouncing off each other, helping each other grow within the community or benefit and produce from the community and within the community. The brand Xander King challenges and commands, and I can't think of the right word, not demands, but it calls for you to be better. It wants you to be better. And that's one thing that I really, and that's been, in a sense, my motto throughout my whole life. And unfortunately, yes, I have this standard expectations of being perfect, this perfectionist concept of having balanced everything in my life and everything gets equal attention, when that's obviously not realistic or idealistic. Still learning that, perfectionism isn't the greatest thing, but the concept of always trying to improve in the areas of your life so that you don't get in a sense, dragged behind when you know, something gets too much, or you avoid something so much that it then comes back at you, and you're there going, oh, now I'm stuck. Now I can't move. Now I can't do anything. In a sense, for example, my taxes. Because I have to keep on track with my taxes, and I have to, because I run my own business and have obviously my own invoices, and I have to keep track of receipts, etc., etc. And I know people with their own business will understand this. I haven't done mine for the past 2 years, so now I'm behind, and I don't think I'll actually make this 3rd year. So I have to then put all my attention in that properly, so that I don't, in a sense, get in trouble, or that I owe money. So this brand, again, coming back to make time to improve yourself, whether that be your taxes, like me, and I am working on it, but also your education and skills. Don't become complacent with where you are in life now. If you think you're a great parent, there's always something to improve. If you think you're a great teacher, there are new information coming out all the time. Go learn it. Educate yourself. If you're got your own niche or specialty in your field, whether that be construction, whether that be psychology, whether that be plumbing or anything, try and find new information that you can help benefit your company or the business or whatever that you're working for or towards, and improve that. There's so many things that you can improve on and be better, and a lot of the times through these business Instagram pages that I follow, they're like, you know, become an expert in your niche, where people realize, oh my gosh, this is the person that knows so much and has the latest technology or the latest techniques that I can rely on to get the best optimum results. I'm going to go to them. And that's what we need to be in our lives, like, consistently. I mean, I'm not a parent, but if I was a parent, I'll try my best to be like, how can I know every single emotion to the best of my knowledge and understand it, so that when I see my child having a situation and they don't understand what emotion they're feeling, I can point it out to them and say, hey, this is probably the emotion you might be feeling. Do you feel this way a little bit? Do you feel like this? Blah, 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 blah. And you want to be able to help regulate their emotions and walk them through that journey, so that they can realize that they can do it on their own. So in the future, they don't rely on you codependently. They can interdependently with their friends support and their relationship support or whatever, or even professional support if they get a counselor or a psychiatrist or a psychologist, that they can go, this is what I'm feeling. I need the right service or treatment right now for this. Yeah, back to the parent things, like with that emotional, beyond that, it's just like, okay, even the body, like I want to know, okay, you know, I'm a guy, you know, I've got guy issues. If it's a son, then I can be like, okay, I know what you're going through. If it's a daughter, then it's just like, your mum knows the best about that female situation, because I'm not a female. I don't have the parts to help you with that sort of thing. So I would want to be the best, in a sense, resource, so that my kids can come to and feel comfortable coming to me. And that, you know, even the things that I don't understand, I can be like, actually, I don't understand that. I don't know that. Let's research it together, and teach them how to research and be interested and intrigued and curious about learning. Like that's I never had that with my dad, or in a sense to my mum. Mum was great with reading books, and that's what's intrigued me to always read books. I mean, throughout most of my life, I didn't read books, but I've always been intrigued to learn information, to really be interested in that. I think that's her reading books has sparked that. My dad, not so much at all. Very fixed mindset of, oh, you already know everything already. Like, you don't need to learn anything more, or you don't need to do anything more. It's just like, actually, no. The world is changing. It's constantly changing, and we need to grow with it, not back, or not stay back and let it grow and then be in a sense of chaos going, oh my gosh, what is this new world? I've been asleep this whole time, haven't really been paying attention, and now I'm having to catch up, and I've got to catch up quickly, or else I'll be left behind again. And then in this state of anxiety, and we don't want that. Don't want that. It's not a great feeling. We want to be at peace. Anyway, so that's the current things of what's going through our mind with Xander King and myself. My why. What is my why that gets me up? my why, majority of the time, is to be there for my community. And that means I need to step up and improve my skills, improve my knowledge, my emotional intelligence, to be there for them. And also, it's helping me out a lot because I'm going through a lot of personal journeys and going through a lot of, deep conversations with myself and realizing what limiting beliefs I have, what addictions I have, things that are hindering me back, or thoughts that are coming through my head that I'm like, or even just paying attention to certain people or things, and why are they living in my mind rent free? Like, they should be out of my head. No, absolutely not happening anymore. But yeah, so that's just the continuously reflecting on my why, and then even just like flicking through the phone and going, hang on, is this lining up with my why? Am I improving flicking through my phone? Or am I just watching it for entertainment purposes, in a sense, because I want to numb being bored, I want to numb being so busy, etc. And being aware of that and paying attention to that. So then I go, you know what, I need time to rest, because that's part of my journey, to rest and enjoy the life that I have, rather than wasting away scrolling, because that's what we're all doing these days. Anyway, hopefully you learned something from this or got something from this, and ask yourself, what is your why, and really define what it is, so that you can observe every action in your life, every behavior that you do, and every choice, and go, is this lining with my why? Is this resonating with me? Is this making me the best version of myself? Because if it's not, I'm sorry, I can't give it that much attention, and I have to put it away and focus on something that's more beneficial. And sometimes that's a kid's Disney movie. I mean, I've been watching kids' Disney movies for the past 4 weeks. I'm loving every single one that I've watched, and being like, why have I not watched these? And it's helped me because there's so much good nuggets in those movies, especially of values of friendships and being kind and understanding and, compassionate, and giving yourself permission to express emotions. So even that is part of the journey. Anyway, I'm not taking any much more of your time. Have a wonderful day, and king up.